Hi, I skip it. Let's make a drinking game real quick. Every time I say art or name a color in this video, I want you to take a shot. I promise you that by the end of it, you'll black out. Anyways, have you heard of art? Art shows are pretty art shows about art make me think of art. And you should be drunk by now. Blue Period was really good. I watched it a couple days ago. If you don't know about Blue Period, it was a show that came out last season, and it is based off a monthly manga series, and it's really good. I already said that part, but I need to reiterate that I think it's really good. Blue Period is about this kid. I forgot his name. I genuinely forgot his name. Kid paints and gets like a compliment for the first time in his life, and then he realizes he wants to be a painter even though his family is poor. That's like the most anti-Asian thing you've ever heard. But it's set in Japan. That was a really bad summary. What this kid discovers on this 12-episode journey is that he's really passionate about art. He still manages to complete himself in the recognition of what he wants to do, and he strives for it, and he goes to art school, he joins the art club, and it's all about this journey of him trying to understand himself, trying to understand his identity in the world, trying to understand why people around him do what they do, and all at the same time it's about passion. So as I said, Blue Period was really good. It makes me think about art because it's an art show, and there were a lot of different techniques that they really well incorporate into the show. They introduce them really easily so that you can understand them. You have composition, you have different colors, and how they play together to elicit certain emotions. But I feel like even if you have zero art knowledge, and even if they don't like talk about it, you can still appreciate just the works that they create as works of art. I have no synonyms for art, that's why I don't have synonyms for art. So as a show about art, there's a lot of deep themes about what it means to be alive and what it means to express yourself, as I mentioned earlier. So one of the biggest themes in the show is about the sense of vulnerability and exposing yourself to the dangers of putting yourself out there in order for you to truly see the benefits of it. And so they express this through details throughout the show, whether it be him trying to share his art to people that not necessarily look down on him, but those who are more experienced than him, such as his teachers, which, by the way, his art teachers are really good. And I don't really want to go too deep into that, but there's also this other theme of the uncertainty of the future that they really connect heavily with creating an art piece, and the whole process of putting stuff on a canvas, but not necessarily knowing what the final piece will be. And that's a metaphor for how we walk a path in life, but we don't necessarily know where we're going to end up, and we don't know what's going to happen in between then. But as long as we're satisfied with ourselves at the end of it, that's kind of all that matters. It is so profound in how we are constantly taught that, oh, in math there's only one solution, in history it definitely happened, but in reality it's still so unknown what we know about our own lives and the future, which seems like that's the thing that we should be controlling the most, because that's ourselves. But in reality, no one knows what's going to happen, and that's okay. As for the characters, there's a lot of different artsy students that show up around him, whether it be in his cram school or in the art club that he joined. I still forgot the main character's name, but everyone else kind of has like a really unique design quirk that makes them stand out. For example, there's one guy with 2 braided pigtails. There's a girl that has like brown hair and then it's black for most of it. Those 2 are really neat. I really liked how everyone has certain different experience levels. Also, I just want to put that out there. There was this really confusing part for me with Ryuji in episode 3, where I don't think before that they ever mentioned pronouns for that character, but afterwards they kept flip-flopping for a reason you'll find out later on in the show, and I don't know what pronouns to use for Ryuji, but Ryuji's pretty hot. Ryuji as a whole was such a complex character though, because of the way their family background mixes in with what we expect from a backstory of a character with their gender identity, and how the parents don't necessarily accept what they are and what they do, but the old loving grandparents that don't really understand it are the ones that are most supportive of them.
We'll get them next time.
Did I just have a stroke? What was that? What? And so Ryuji gets these really intense moments that we see, but I feel like the author could have went deeper into it. I feel like that's not something they necessarily need to do, and I feel like that's not necessarily something that they should do either, though. Ryuji's gender identity is something for them, and I feel like as an outsider, it shouldn't matter to me what they identify as long as they're satisfied with themselves, and that's my opinion on that. I might be transphobic right now. I actually have no idea. Oh, I'm scared. Overall, Blue Period was this show about this message of vulnerability, this message of uncertainty, and this message of solidarity amongst everyone that is having these feelings. And I feel like during those 12 episodes that I was watching it, I was so immersed and engaged with the material that it felt like multiple days has gone by. And I said that really poorly. The way the artist views the world and finds details in the littlest things says that the artist is about finding satisfaction in the things that give you the happiness that you find. I feel like I'm trying to sound wise right now, but what I'm saying is so basic. Don't worry about it. Just be happy with the things that make you happy. I think that's what the show is trying to tell you. There's a lot of different things that the show is trying to tell you, and that I'm trying to tell you because I'm trying to interpret the show through... I'm not an English major. And just real quick, I wanted to talk about the intro because I feel like the intro had this beautiful contrast between the blues and the oranges, which is the complementary color of blue. And while the song initially wasn't my thing, I feel like it grew on me so much that I'm still humming it in my head. Blue Period was really good. 80 out of 100, and made me think of art. And art is really good because art stands out as art. I still can't do outro. Subscribe if you want to, like if you want to. It doesn't really matter to me. Goodbye. Maybe I put something in the credits where I just talk about wanting to smack Ryuji's hot ass. Whoo! That was real. If they identify as a male, he's hot. If they identify as a female, she's hot.